A few years ago, if you talked about AI chips, there was really only one name that dominated the conversation: NVIDIA. Almost every major AI breakthrough, every data center expansion, every new model, it all seemed to run on NVIDIA hardware. But now something is starting to shift. Amazon is quietly, but very seriously, building its own AI chip strategy. And for the first time, it's starting to look real, not experimental, not optional, real. So the big question is, why is Amazon doing this and how big of a deal is it? Because this isn't just about chips, it's about control, cost, and the future of cloud computing. To understand what's happening, you need to look at Amazon's position in the AI world. Amazon Web Services, or AWS, is one of the largest cloud providers on the planet. It powers startups, enterprises, and a huge portion of the internet. And now, with the explosion of AI, demand for computing power has skyrocketed. Training and running AI models requires massive amounts of processing, and right now, most of that demand is being met by one company, NVIDIA. That creates a problem. Because when one company controls a critical resource, everyone else becomes dependent on it. Prices go up, supply becomes constrained, and your entire business starts to rely on someone else's roadmap. Amazon doesn't like that position, so instead of relying entirely on NVIDIA, it's building its own chips. And this is not Amazon's first attempt. For years, Amazon has been developing custom silicon, chips designed specifically for its own needs. But earlier efforts were more focused on general cloud efficiency. What's different now is the focus: AI. Amazon is now developing chips specifically for AI workloads, things like training large language models and running AI applications at scale. And this is where things start to get serious, because if Amazon succeeds, it changes the economics of AI. Let's talk about cost. AI computing is expensive, very expensive. Training large models can cost millions of dollars. Running them at scale adds even more cost over time, and a big part of that cost comes from the hardware. If Amazon can design its own chips that are cheaper to produce and optimized for its infrastructure, it can lower those costs significantly. That gives AWS a huge advantage, because in the cloud business, price matters. If Amazon can offer AI computing at a lower cost than competitors, it can attract more customers. Startups, enterprises, developers, everyone looking to build AI applications will naturally gravitate toward the platform that gives them the best performance for the lowest price. And that's how market share shifts. Now let's talk about performance. Custom chips aren't just about saving money, they're about optimization. When you design your own hardware, you can tailor it specifically for the workloads you care about. That means better efficiency, faster processing, and potentially lower energy consumption. And in AI, efficiency is everything, because data centers consume enormous amounts of power. So if Amazon can build chips that deliver strong performance while using less energy, it doesn't just save money, it scales better. And scaling is the entire game. But there's another layer to this: control. Right now, companies that rely heavily on NVIDIA are tied to NVIDIA's supply chain. If there are shortages, delays, or price increases, they feel the impact immediately. By building its own chips, Amazon reduces that dependency. It gains more control over its infrastructure. It can plan its own roadmap. It can prioritize its own customers. And in a market that's moving as fast as AI, that kind of control is incredibly valuable. Now here's where things get even more interesting. Amazon isn't alone. Other tech giants are doing the same thing. Google has its TPUs. Microsoft is investing in its own AI hardware. Even smaller players are exploring custom silicon. This is starting to look like a new kind of arms race, not for software, but for hardware. Because as AI becomes more important, the companies that control the underlying infrastructure gain a massive advantage, and chips are at the center of that infrastructure. So Amazon's push isn't just about catching up, it's about staying competitive in a world where AI is becoming the core of everything. Search, advertising, logistics, customer service, cloud computing, all of it is being reshaped by AI. And if Amazon wants to lead in that world, it needs more than just software, it needs the hardware too. Now, does this mean Amazon is about to replace NVIDIA? Not anytime soon. NVIDIA still has a huge lead. Its ecosystem, its software stack, and its performance are all deeply entrenched in the industry. But that doesn't mean Amazon needs to beat NVIDIA completely. It just needs to reduce its dependence. Even shifting a portion of its workloads to its own chips could have a big impact. It could lower costs, improve margins, and give Amazon more flexibility, and over time, those advantages add up. Now think about the bigger picture. If Amazon, Google, and Microsoft all continue building their own AI chips, the market could start to fragment. Instead of one dominant supplier, you get multiple ecosystems, each optimized for its own platform, each competing on cost, performance, and integration. And that could accelerate innovation because competition drives progress. But it also raises the stakes. Because now it's not just about who has the best AI models, it's about who can run them most efficiently, who can scale them the fastest, and who can offer them at the lowest cost. That's where the real battle is happening, and Amazon knows it. So when you hear that Amazon's AI chip push is starting to get real, it's not just about a new product launch, it's about a shift in strategy, a shift toward owning more of the stack, from software to infrastructure to hardware. Because in the AI era, the companies that control the full stack have the biggest advantage, and Amazon is positioning itself to be one of them. So this isn't just another tech story, it's a signal that the AI race is evolving, from building smarter models to building the machines that power them, and Amazon just made it clear it wants to compete on both fronts.